So this is gonna be more of a talking head where I'm just gonna be talking directly to you. And the reason why I'm doing this is because look, I realize like there's a lot of info I can give you, right? I can give you loads of information. But at the end of the day, it's like the information won't do anything for you if you don't implement it. So this video is really just understanding like how can I implement these actionable steps that I've basically given you, right? So first of all, it's understanding that there's three layers into a system of a business, right? It's first having the marketing, sales, and fulfillment. You need to first have people to come to you to close them, to fulfill for them. Because if you don't know how to close someone, or nor do you know how to actually get someone to come to you, there's no point of trying to figure out fulfillment. On the flip side, it's also knowing that once you know have these two, you actually need the fulfillment side of things to go around. So essentially, marketing is the most important thing of all these three things. Because if you don't have marketing, you don't have sales, you don't have fulfillment. And what I'm like really trying to like bring out is understanding that those three things, like those three movers in a business, might not work just to scale. Like at some point when you're scaling, you have to understand like those three things, there's gonna be different like kind of values. Because right now it's like at first you're like, okay, those three things are very equal. But when you're scaling, there's a couple things where you have to be more like hard on. Like at certain points, it's like fulfillment needs to be more dialed. So that way you put marketing and sales on like a standby. But then there's not sides where like your fulfillment's on point, but your marketing and sales aren't working. Or your sales and client fulfillment are working, but your marketing isn't. Or everything isn't working, so you have to work on everything. But it's like essentially understanding like first you need the clients. And more clients you have doesn't always mean the more money you'll make. And the people always say that, but it's always understanding why that is, right? It's because people spread themselves way too thin. They overestimate how much work they can get done and underestimate how much work there is. So look, I don't want you to have so many clients where you just don't know how to fulfill, but at the same time, I don't want you to be the bottleneck of your business. So the best way to actually make sure you're making lots of money is delegating everything. Once you have everything SOP'd out, everything fulfill, everything to a point where it's like you can have someone else in there. They don't even have to be really good, but they'll make the same amount of money. But if you have someone really good, like 10 times better than you, they can scale it. So essentially what I'm saying is like, dude, like SOP everything out. At first, make sure you understand, like document everything, making sure that like what you're doing is basically in a threshold where it's like, okay, look, if you ever need questions from me, go ask this. Or like videos like this, like you can give them to your, let's say, workers, and like from there, they're like, okay, like what should I do? Just watch this video. What should I do? Ask ChatGPT. What should I do? Ask Claude. But essentially, it's like making sure that people you're getting on are competent enough to really do what you ask them to do. Because a lot of people like in this space right now just aren't competent. And you can tell that right away. Like even people that are semi-competent never had results or anything like that. You can tell like, hey, like this guy's competent. Like even if he doesn't have the experience I want, like he can understand things that I don't understand from a different angle. And then he can just basically grow in the niche, grow in the industry. So it's understanding like people take bets on people. And you wouldn't know, like some people, if you take bets on them and they work out, they'll become your most loyal worker. On the flip side, it's like, hey, like if you got a client where, hey, they just bet on you, don't you feel like you would put way more work into them? So it's understanding like, hey, like there's human psychology in this, right? Like as a business owner, you're basically paying for a lot of people's bills, livelihoods, their families. So it's also understand like, hey, just don't screw yourself over as well. Making sure you're making strategic decisions. Like, hey, like I know some people that just put all their money to taxes and just screwed it all else. I also know people who made so much money and helped their own team, help them travel the world and just do things that they enjoy for their family and for themselves. So it's like there's two things where it's like also understand the business owner. Like, hey, like what does this guy do? Like how does he do it? And like what's his past? Because a lot of people's past also shape their future. And it's also to understand like, hey, did they break from them? Like break free from those past? And just see their traumas. Because a lot of people's traumas can also be shown into their like insecurities right now. When you're a kid, like were you loved? Were you not loved? Were you overloved? It's just like understand those little things where it's like, hey, you can just understand the personality. Like you can see Iman Gadzhi where his father, he didn't have a father figure growing up. Like he had a strong mother figure, but there's so much that she can do that father figure can't do. Like you can't like do a better degree. And like right now he's just striving just to strive, right? Like he's like saying I'm just buying these businesses and all that. But you can also tell like, hey, like why you keep on doing this? Like, I know you like working, but why are you working? Because I enjoy it. Why do you enjoy like working so much? I know like you want a passion, like you're working towards it, you want to feel useful to someone. And just when you understand that, it's like, hey, like, yeah, like this guy is like building something. He has a vision. And the reason why he does that is because he wants to feel like the world, like he's providing for the world, which is a very like noble thing. Like I'm not gonna like discredit that, but it's also understand like, well, where did that come from? That came from him like wanting love, seeking love, and so now he's just basically seeking love from the world. Like there's a lot of examples I can give you, but it doesn't really do you good. It's like you have to understand yourself. Like this is more a mindset. I get it, but it's these mindset tips that could actually shape how you move. Like understanding yourself is also in a sense helping your business move. Like for example, like let's take me. The more pressure I have, the more pressure I give, the more cortisol I have, and then like I just kind of shut down. But the flip side, it doesn't mean like I'm not gonna work. It just means like I'm like gonna work way too much. I might be overly stressed. I might nag a bit more, and like that's all right. But you also have to understand like, hey, like what's causing this? And once you understand what's causing this, you can easily flip the switch. Like for example, I've had a time where literally for 3-4 days straight, I would just eat bread or I would eat nothing and drink just Diet Pepsi that I ordered online, like for free basically. And during that time, like it was just fight or flight mode. Like you just don't understand. Like it's those times where you understand. Like hey, like these are gonna shape my beliefs. These are gonna shape like how I view the world, and it's just gonna make you like more numb into like saying, hey, like this might not be it. Like, well, what's the point of doing all this if just flip a second, like hey, like I can just literally like be homeless, and like it's deep, right? But it's understanding like hey, like the flip side of this is like either you're homeless or working a 9 to 5, doing something you don't like, and quite honestly, just feeling like a loser, right? But it's also understand like on the other flip side is you becoming successful. So there's always two extremes, but there's also the middle where it's like, hey, like you could just be, cruising by, having the life where it's like it's just normal, doing things that you just, it's all right, who cares, and just cruising by. So it's like there's a lot of things where you can pick and choose, and it just really depends on your personality. So the more you understand how to like your psychology, how to manipulate things, the more you can actually grow in a business as a person and with relationships. So just really understanding those little like key aspects of things, like it's just like it's just mind-boggling where it's like people just don't really take a look at themselves, take a look at their surroundings, and really understand like what's going on, why is this going on, why are these people acting this way, why is this person acting this way, and just not really like just take that in. And I also don't understand why people go over analytical where they're like, okay, like, why is this going on, how can I affect it, is there's this angle, this angle. It's like there's two extremes for everything, where someone could be just super really stupid or overly analytical. And quite honestly, it's like you just have to understand like you can literally break it down saying like I understand why these people are like that. Some people are over analytical because like if they did something bad a certain way or they hurt other people and they know how to hurt them, they become over analytical. Or people who are just under analytical, is just like whatever they did, it doesn't matter. Their parents just didn't care. So they're just like, okay, whatever. So I'll just do whatever. Fuck all. But it's a lot in terms of that. It's like a lot of information you can think about, right? You can always just think about this stuff and overanalyze everything. That's why just having like so back to my point. So it's you have to understand all this stuff because then you can understand who you can mesh with well, right? Some people that like for business owners, who can you partner up with? Who can't you partner up with? Who are good workers you can have, or bad workers you can have, and then just like reverse engineer. It's like okay, like if I can do all this right, but what's gonna hold us back? It might be me on this certain thing. Okay, let me get someone that can actually handle me on that. It's like it's just continuous progress in terms of just understanding like how can I level up every single day or every single hour or every single year or every single second. It's like there's a lot of things into that. But back to the main point, it's just have a straight vision, right? Have a vision where it's like, okay, why am I doing this? Like a lot of people want to scale, right? They want to make lots of money, but they haven't really understood why. Is it power thing? Why is it that power thing? Like, is it because of previous things that you've had said to you? Why did those hurt you? Because it's from someone important. Why were they important? Because they're someone you love. And then it's like, okay, then is it really this or like love you're looking for? So it's just a lot of emotion, and like once you break it down, it's like okay, what? For me, example, I love working because I love like actually progressing something. I love just doing something where it feels like it's going forward. I'm someone that's like a freedom guy, like where it's like, hey, how can I do work and feel free at the same time? And it's like, hey, like the more work I do, the more free I feel. It's like quite the opposite of some entrepreneurs who are like, hey, like I just don't want to work at all. I want to just sit all else and fuck all. But there's also that extreme. So my point is like, just understand yourself, right? I understand I love working. I understand people just don't like working. I understand people just are okay. It's like, hey, like if I got to get this done, I got to get this done. But I also understand like there's a lot of things you can think about. But it's also understanding like how can I improve this service I can give can provide this outcome. It's how can I prove this ad, this copy, these things that I can get on this outcome, but at the same time not look manipulative or not look like other people. It's like you have to think about these stuff in every single aspect of business, aspect of life in general. But not to the point of dating like women and all that. That's different. Where it's like just turn your head off, and just be yourself. But in business, in terms of life, in terms of just picking and choosing things, is you have to be overly analytical. It's like, hey, like yeah, you have to understand like all these positions and then just pick one. Like you can't just pick 20 and it's like, hey, like there's these 20 options. I don't know what should I do. I'll pick these two options. You can't really do that. You have to pick one option and go forward. Same thing with business. It's like, hey, like what's the biggest bottleneck? Fix that first and then fix the next. It's like these little things can just magnitude your business. On the flip side, these little things could actually make it worse for your dating. But I digress. So this is a more of a not even motivational, just like a psychology type of trick where it's like, hey, like how can I kind of rewire myself and understand how to actually not even make more money, but just have a more successful life. So if you found this enjoyable, give a follow. If not, no worries. Just dislike it. But there's nothing else I can say, and hopefully they gave you value.